Alright, hi everyone, it's Toby. I'm back. I'm sorry this video is so long. It wasn't my intention. I was working on this piece all day today when I was recording it on my screen, and I decided I was going to make it into a video, but even going as fast as it can go, the shortest I can get it is 20 minutes, and I don't have enough music downloaded to cover 20 minutes. I don't have enough music downloaded to cover 10 minutes. So I've decided I am just gonna talk over it just using the microphone on my laptop. If you hear like rustling in the background, that's my dog. He's on my bed right now. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna talk. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might not. I might just put a really long music into the background. Maybe I'll find one really long piece and I'll just put that in the background. So we are about a minute and 30 seconds in. That is 18 minutes and 30 seconds to go. So let's talk about this speed paint. Okay, so let's talk about this speed paint. This is fan art from Rainbow Rowell's book Carry On. I love that name. That's a brilliant name. Is that a pseudonym? I feel like it's a pseudonym, but anyway, yeah. So this is fan art from Rainbow Rowell's book Carry On. I just read it yesterday. I read it all in one day from about 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., which is a good way to spend one's time, I feel, reading. But yeah, so this is fan art of the two of the main characters, Baz and Simon Snow, which are they're the gay ones. They're the gay couple in the book. They're on the front cover. Yeah, man, this is gonna be a long video. But yeah, so their official ship name is Snowbaz, and I love them, and they're good. So, as a gay-ish dude myself, I was very excited to see this in the book. When I bought it, I didn't know that there was going to be a gay couple in it. I didn't, not a gay couple, an MLM couple, a man loves man couple. I didn't know that. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. I remember I was reading it late at night and I was texting a friend who's already read this book. And I'm kind of a person who is to have things like books and movies spoiled for me. I don't like experiencing emotional shock when it comes to characters or storylines. So I was on the wiki and I was looking at Simon Snow's character bio, and it talks about all his relationships with the characters, and I started reading about Simon's how he was related to Baz's character, and I kind of ruined it for myself because the wiki essentially it spells out the whole love story. It talks about like how spoiler alert, by the way, don't go any further if you're gonna read the book and you don't want it spoiled. Then it might be too late. But it talks about how Baz had a crush on Simon since he was like 12, and how like it's so cute, and I love that representation so much. But yeah, and then it's really hard to get gay representation right in a novel or in other media. Rick Riordan does a great job of it. If you don't know who Rick Riordan is, which I'm not gonna lie would be a little bit of a shock, he wrote the Percy Jackson series, and all the series is related to that. So that's That's his deal. And yeah, but it's like it's really hard to represent people correctly in in the media. So it's good to see because these two were represented really well because it's about, hang on just a sec, it's about these two boys who develop feelings for each other over time. It is a little bit rushed, I'll give it, I will say that, but I mean that's okay, it was really cute. But and then one of them isn't even gay, which is great representation for members of the LGBT community are a little less visible because they aren't just plain old gay. Because Simon, he had a girlfriend before dating Baz, and he says that he's not really sure if he's gay per se, but he does like Baz. And see, that's the thing. You don't have to be gay to like someone of the same gender. I mean, Simon could be bisexual, he could be heteroflexible, he could be pansexual. So that was really cool to see that they weren't just both like flat out gays because it's not always flat out gays in the real world. So yeah, that was cool to see. And they're so cute together. I wish they had more scenes together, mainly making out. In the book, I think that yeah, I think that they probably could have had more scenes together, but otherwise I have no complaints about the relationship. I think that Rainbow executed it really well. So yeah, all in all pretty good. This drawing, the actual process of drawing it was quite grueling. It took a really long time. It took several hours. But oh, there's me pulling up a reference for the skin tone. I really suck at skin tones. But yeah, this drawing took me like hours. It took me a long time. This is probably one of the more complete drawings that I've ever done on this program. I only started doing digital art a couple of months ago, when I got a tablet and then a MacBook, and then I downloaded Metabang Paint Pro, which is a free digital art program for Mac and I think Windows. It's one of the better ones. I haven't learned all the secrets to using it yet, but I mean, so far for me, it's worked really well. And then Simon's hand. I couldn't figure out Simon's hand for the life of me. I'm really bad at hands in general. I think hands are a really hard thing to draw. I think a lot of artists think hands are a really hard thing to draw. But yeah, and so I went with the colors, and then I go do a bunch of other stuff, and yeah, this is definitely one of the more complicated drawings I've ever done on this program. Yeah, I really should have made some notes for this, but I didn't, because I'm an idiot. Yeah. Carry On, the book Carry On that this is a fan art of, it was really interesting. If we're talking about elements other than Simon and Baz's relationship, it was definitely a very interesting book. In the first couple of chapters, it feels exactly like Harry Potter. Like, the plot is almost exactly like Harry Potter, the plot that's been rehashed. There's this big bad villain, and there's like a chosen one with a friend who's a really smart girl, and an arch nemesis who calls him by his last name. So Simon is basically Harry in this scenario. Baz is Draco. I thought of Penelope as a Hermione or maybe a Ron. I couldn't decide because, like, she's a good friend like Ron is, but she's really smart like Hermione is. So I'm trying to be careful while recording because if I move my computer the wrong way, then it like does this really loud staticky thing, and I'm not into that. So yeah, and then I don't remember what I was doing during this. Oh, I was eating dinner, and I couldn't stop the recording because then that's just like extra footage that I don't want. So yeah, and then I'm recording in a very dark space right now. I'm recording in our garage in my mom's car because if I did it in my bedroom, then the entire house would be able to hear it and they would all yell at me. But yeah, so uh, what this what this picture is depicting is Simon and Baz's first kiss in the forest when Baz is trying to off himself and Simon convinces him not to by just putting his mouth on the other guy's mouth. Yeah, I really liked that part. That's gotta be one of my favorite parts. They're so cute. But yeah, I'm recording in a very dark space, and I'm very scared. But I won't give up. Never give up. Never surrender. Yeah, and then this background, the background that I'm painting right now on screen. I don't usually do things like that. My style is a lot more stylized. It's a lot more cartoony. So I usually do things with like very heavy and noticeable line work and very kind of flat colors. So this background was definitely a challenge for me. I just sort of followed my instincts, and it didn't turn out perfect, but it turned out decent enough. And it was going to be dark. It's going to be darkened later in the picture anyway, so it doesn't need to be super perfect. Yeah. And then Carry On was filled with some very interesting characters. I think my favorite has to be Baz because he's a little emo vampire boy and he just wants a hug. And God knows that's always everyone's favorite character. And Simon, I thought he was a really good protagonist. I usually find myself not liking protagonists that much because I they just seem so unrealistically flawless half the time, and it's I don't know. I find it hard to relate to them, but I found Simon to be a really good protagonist. I found his character to be very engaging, except towards the very end when he wouldn't listen to anyone. I hate when characters in books don't listen to each other because it's like, dude, stop being so thick-headed. Listen to your friends. They want to help you, and yeah. And then what's happening on screen right now is I didn't know how to do fire, but since the forest is kind of on fire in the scene that I'm drawing, I needed to look up how to do that. And so I looked up a tutorial on DeviantArt of how to do fire, and as you can see, it took me a couple of tries. I wasn't good at it. But that was okay because later it's going to be shrink down to a small size, so it doesn't matter. The details aren't super important because, yeah, as you can see, I'm shrinking it all down layer by layer. Very tedious, but I think it ended up making it look better in the long run. Yeah, so right now it all looks very flat except the fire, but later I do some shading and add some depth. And I did a method of shading that you'll see later in this that I don't really use. I mean, I haven't used it, but I've seen other people do it this way. Yeah. And then, yeah. Carry On was a great book. I love books about magic, and The Gay was just such a bonus. If you haven't read it and you like books about magic, and if you're gay, it's you should definitely look it up. I got it for like $7 on Amazon. It has some really cool cover art. if you buy the paperback version. The paperback version has really cool cover art. The hardcover version has lame cover art, but the paperback version has really nice cover art. And then, yeah, so I'm just doing the same thing. I made some fire, and now I'm shrinking it down to make it look like the tree is on fire. I don't think the fire ended up looking great in this, just because I've never done anything like that before, and I'm very new to digital art, and really, and really art in general. But, yeah. So, and then here's that method of shading that I was talking about. Because there was going to be fire to that side of them, rather than block in the areas that need to be shaded and not color over areas that were going to be left in the light, because almost all of the areas were going to be in shadow, I just cover the entire picture in the shade that I used in the color that I used to shade, and then I just erased the parts after lowering the opacity that had the light hitting them. And like I said, because they were being hit by a very strong light source, there was going to be a good amount of contrast between where they were being hit by the light and where they weren't. So yeah, you can see me going in and doing that, just erasing around the edges that are facing the flame as a way to make it look like the light is hitting them from that angle, and that it's dark outside. So yeah, and then I had to change the color of the shadow on the jacket because I didn't like how I was working out, but I did it again because I didn't like how that one was working out. Yeah. This is almost over. But yeah. So I know Rainbow Rowell has done some other things. I know she wrote, I think it's a she. I know she wrote Eleanor and Park, which was a book that was very popular when I was a little bit younger. I'm still young, but when I was just a teensy bit younger, I never read it. This is the first Rainbow Rowell book I ever read, but it was good. It was very good. So maybe I'll pick up some of her other ones. Yeah, and then I did a little bit of shading on the trees, and then here I'm going in with what I called the deep shadows, which was the shadows that would be on their regular clothes, not on the regular clothes, but the shadows that would be there, either way, whether there was fire or not, and it's just a way to add more depth to the picture. Because my style is very stylized, it's very cartoony. Shading helps add depth and makes it look a little more alive, a little more dramatic. So, yeah, that's good. And now that we've gotten to the end here, I think I'm just going to put music in for the rest of it, because there's only about like a minute left. So, thank you all so much for... Oh, I'm watching a tutorial on how to create a glowing effect by LeslieLu there, so I think maybe, yeah, check her out, LeslieLu. Maybe I'll put the name down in the description, but yeah, this is where I leave you. I'll see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
As a kitten up a tree, and I feel I'm as helpless of the tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. I get misty